Are you in the process of considering getting a property mentor? Do you even know what a property mentor is? Do you know if it's worth getting one? Now, you might have considered getting a property mentor, but do you know the questions to ask? Do you know how to know whether the property mentor is genuine, if they're going to be giving you the best advice? All of that is going to be covered in this video. But first of all, like the video and let us know in the comments if you've had experience with having a property mentor, good or bad. I want you to share the answers below. Choosing the right mentor can either accelerate your progress or leave you dead in your tracks. The idea is that you want to choose a mentor who is going to accelerate your progress with their knowledge and experience, whereas it could leave you demoralized and broke, which has happened to some people who choose the wrong mentor. Well, making the right decision is what I'm here to help you do, giving you some questions to ask, some things to think about so that you can make an informed decision choosing a property mentor, or even whether it's right for you at all. When looking for your property mentor, here's some things to consider. Making sure that the synergy between what you're going to do and what they've done is lining up. So what I mean by that is there's no point going for somebody who's an expert in property development if your strategy that you've chosen is HMOs. Now, there might be some things that overlap, but they've already achieved different things in different kind of strategies. What you want to do is find someone who really aligns up with you, with the goals that you've set, and making sure that they have that experience. It could be the case that you're looking at somebody who's scaled their business to multi-seven figures or whatever it is, but that might be really detracted from someone who's just looking to get their first buy to let. It could be the case that you want to get somebody who's just a few steps ahead of you so that you can really understand and they understand the position that you're in a lot more than somebody who's very detracted who did it 10 years ago or whatever it is, because they understand what you're going through right now and they can feel that and really align with you. So that's really important, making sure you make the right decision. Maybe somebody one step ahead of you is better to go with, or maybe somebody that's that 7-figure level, if you're in that kind of mid-range where you're looking to scale up, is a person you could follow. So it really depends on where you are in your journey. So making sure that synergy, not only the strategy, but where they are in their journey as opposed to you, is so important. When considering a property mentor, you might want to ask them this question: what mistakes have you made? What lessons have you learned? How can that impact where I am now? That's what kind of thing you want to be asking, understanding the situation that they're in, really get to know them as a potential mentor as well, because at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is really align with them and understand the kind of things and their philosophy as well that they have, so that that can kind of distill and then really align with what you're trying to gain. Another question you can ask is, have they helped people in a similar situation as you? And even if they haven't helped people in a similar situation, can they show projects that they've done? Can they talk to people that they've worked with? Really, you want to understand who they are as a person and understand their work style, because that's more important to understand if you are going to work well together. That leads me perfectly on to, have they done any previous deals that fit with the strategy that you want to do? So is this kind of deal that you want to get? For example, are they doing buy, refurbish, refinance with heavy renovations? Whereas it could be that there's an investor who's just done light renovations on a property, and that might be something that appeals more to you. Whereas you need to understand what they've done previously, what kind of experience they've had, what things have worked out, what things haven't worked out. And I think that's more of a strength in itself, to be honest about the things that haven't worked out. And that gives you a real insight to the type of person they are. So something that's really, really overlooked is, how much time can they actually give you? Now, it's not always about time, it's about the value that they bring, but realistically, it's about what they can give you in terms of time, because when you're mentoring somebody, you need to get to know them, it needs to build a relationship, and they need to be able to answer in those kind of crucial stages where you need their help. Are they going to be able to do that? I've spent a lot of money over my time with property training and mentors, and making sure that people are actually going to be responsive is really, really important. You could spend loads of money and they could be basically like the dirt on the bottom of your shoe and they not really care. You don't know that until you go into things, but really kind of hash that out beforehand. Understand how much time they can give. This goes back to whether you're going to go for somebody who's the high flyer, is everywhere, and they've got a brand. They're probably not going to give you as much time because they've got lots of students, lots of clients. That might not be the thing for you. So you might want to look for the smaller people who have got the time to give you and have a small group of people that they're going to help, as opposed to the people who are helping lots and lots of people, because obviously their time is valuable and there's only so much they can give, which is obviously respectable, but it might be the case that you want to go for someone smaller who is able to help you a bit more and give you a bit more of that hand holding that you need. Make sure to stick around because we have a special thing that we're doing in order to make sure that you get the best out of mentorship, and it might be the thing that helps accelerate your property journey. So stick around for the rest of this video. The next thing to do is check if their morals and values align with you. It could be the case that they want a flashy lifestyle and they're buying Lamborghinis, Ferraris, big mansions, and does that really align with what goals you have for your ambitious goals? Or is it the case that you just want financial security for yourself and your family, and then it might be the kind of person that really aligns with that, and that's what they've been able to achieve? Well, really understand from that level of missions and values and morality, does that really align with you? The next thing to check is, have they got a broad experience to help you in lots of different situations? So have they come from the same background as you? It might be the case that somebody is coming in with a situation where they've got lots of money. Well, it could be the case that this person started with lots of money and they were just able to go out and buy. Whereas it could be for yourself, you might be not starting with that much money. Then you could have a different strategy to the somebody who started with lots of money. Did they start from a similar situation? Did they start from a similar background as you? Because that can inspire you as well, because you can see that they've done the same kind of things as you, and a broad wealth of experience is really important when it comes to this kind of stuff. Have they dealt with lots of different situations that could really understand the way you're coming from for your goals, ambitions, and the way that you want to invest in property? And probably one of the most important things is, do you like them as a person? Now, this might be a funny thing to think of, but really it's all important, because you could be working with this person for a long period of time, and really you need to understand if they're going to align. I know a lot of these things around alignment, but making sure that you like the person, because you're not going to stick around for long if you don't like the person and you don't really like their company. You're going to be spending a lot of time with them, and that is really, really important. So first off, tick the box. Do you like them or don't you? And that can easily sift through the people you want to spend more time with to the people that you don't. And obviously the person with the bigger name, then one thing you also have to factor in is the price. So when factoring in price, if you've got somebody with a big brand name, has lots of students, then they're probably going to charge you more money. And that's one thing you obviously need to think of in relative terms. You could be charging more money for less of a service. That's not always the case, but you don't really know that until you go and do your due diligence and check out people who've worked with them before. They might not be able to give you the time, and getting closer to them usually warrants a higher price. You know, this is where you hear of courses that are 10, 20, 50 grand courses. That's because you're paying to get closer to the person who is supposed to be teaching you. Whereas you could go and get that kind of same information from somebody smaller who's got and done the same kind of things in terms of where you need to get to, not the 7-figure and all this kind of stuff maybe, but have got their first buy-to-let property, have got 5 buy-to-let properties, whatever it is, and that might be a strategy. They might be able to help you with the same kind of information, provide you with more time, give you more hand-holding that you need. They might be the better choice for you just because of that. What you need to consider is the quality of their material and how it's being delivered. So for example, is it going to be somebody who's giving you one-to-one mentorship and they're using intuitive knowledge that they have by questions that you ask them? So it could be the case that you're going around asking specific questions and they're giving really good answers. And to be honest, that's some of the best knowledge that I've gained through my time learning about property, is people who have been there, done it, and then I've asked them a specific question, they've given me answers, or even when they're off the cuff and they give you some really good information, they're the key golden nuggets, and I absolutely love that. Or it could be that you're going through sequential module information. So what I mean by that is basically courses. What a fancy way to put it, right? Idea is that you can go through that in your own time. Is it going to be that? Is that really mentorship where you're just going through a training course? I'm not quite sure. But what I do love is the hybrid of the two, where you've got sequential modules that you can go through, and then you've got that kind of mentorship hybrid there where they're also giving you some one-to-one or group coaching elements. Those are really, really good, and I really value that. But one thing that I want to do, and if you are interested, then leave it in the comments, is I want to take people out and go into the actual refurbs that we're doing and an earn and learn program. So after being through lots of different training. I want to provide some sort of different service where we actually have an earn and learn. So what we do is we invest on a fixed basis. So what you're doing is more of a loan then, say, on the property, and you get a security charge. So what that means is a charge on the property. So if you are going to invest, you've got the security of knowing that you've got the same kind of security as a mortgage would have over a property whilst you're going to earn. So it could be between the percentages of 5 and 8%, and you're going to learn from myself and the team about investing in property, going on to the refurbs that we're doing, understanding all of that through the process of getting it acquired, legals, all of it, all the way through renovations and getting it back out to a letting agent. All of that is going to be taken through, and you're going to earn and learn at the same time, whereas that you're not really finding that much there out the market, and that's the kind of hands-on experience that we want to provide. So if that's of interest to you, leave it in the comments, leave down in the comments mentor, and what I'll do is I'll reach out to you and we can have a conversation about how we can do that. So there it is, a full breakdown of how you can basically distill whether you want to get a mentor or not, and the questions you need to ask to make sure that you're getting the real value from mentorship. I know that if you have liked this, then you might like some of our other videos, which I'm going to link just after this. But if you did really like it, please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps more than you'll ever know. And don't forget, put mentor in the comments if you want to be part of our Earn and Learn program, where we're going to take you through the entire process of buying your first buy-to-let and really understanding if you will get into buy, refurbish, refinance, or just buy to let, then this is going to be the hands-on experience that you might need to take you to the next level in property. And if you'd like this video, please do let us know in the comments as well, because we want to do more stuff like this and we're going to get feedback from it so we improve, so that we can give the videos that you want. So I'll see you on the next video.